Hello everybody, welcome back to Bela channel. This is Bridget advocating for the orphans and telling my story. If you like what I'm about, like, share and subscribe. It helps with the growth of the channel. Episode 3 starts with Anne preparing to go to school. She was overjoyed, she just wanted everything to be perfect. I think she was also nervous because she just couldn't keep quiet.
Saldrá mal, no me cabe ninguna duda. No hay ninguna duda. Estoy atrasada unos años.
She even broke the mug, but she kept talking still.
Toda la vida, ¿qué podría salir mal?
She assures Marilla and Mathew that she was gonna cope in school. She knew that she was intelligent enough, so she was going to catch up. But her only worry was her hair and freckles. She worries so much about her hair because she's been told that her red hair was ugly. So Marilla comforts her and she assures Anne that that wasn't something to worry about. But when she was leaving, Marilla and Mathew were worried for her because surely that was something to worry about. So she went to school excited, talking to the trees as usual. She also thought of making the first impression count. She puts the flowers on your head. And she was so happy because that was her style. Little did she know that she was actually laying up trouble for herself. So she got to school and surely she made the first impression count. The hat was what everyone saw first. So Diana then introduced her to the other students.
This is Jane Andrews and Josie Pye and Ruby Gillis and Tillie Bolter. Everybody, this is Anne. Hello, Anne. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Wait and see Anne being a comedian. Like, who does that really? That part reminded me of my high school. This guy introduced himself in front of everyone in the class. And we were already A-levels. Like, everyone laughed. You won't understand, but it was so funny.
It is a scrumptious pleasure to make your acquaintances, and I shall do my utmost to prove myself worthy of your friendship.
And the other kids were confused. Like, yeah, we know you read, but was that even necessary, Anne? Really?
Why did they make you wear that old lady dress? It's just nice to have something new.
Josie Pye was giving beachy vibes. I didn't like her at all. Like, why would she say that?
If you're an orphan, I suppose I wouldn't be caught dead in it. Anne isn't an orphan anymore. She's been adopted.
I loved how Diana tried to fight for Anne. She was a true friend, though Anne then corrected her.
You're ridiculous.
Hey, look! It's a talking dog.
Anne then meets her bully. I love that she stood up for herself. Like, seriously? A talking dog?
Don't mind my brother. He's ridiculous.
The other girls were actually nice, but because of Josie Pye, they were forced to be mean to Anne.
Come on, Anne. Let's finish the tour. Bring your milk. I'll show you the stream outside.
When Diana was showing Anne around the school premises, Marilla at home got 2 visitors. She was told that since she was now a parent, she was invited to parents' meetings where they discuss about their children's education. Though she was not sure about these meetings, she agreed. She later told Mathew about it. I loved how they embraced the role of being parents to Anne. For people who had never been parents, that was incredible. When Mathew asked her if she was sure about the meeting, I loved her response. How she said, apparently we're now parents, so we have to do right by Anne. Oh God, I loved that. She was ready to be a parent throughout, not only when it suits her. And I think there's a lesson to be learned there. These people had never been parents before. And in real life, mostly it's people like them who adopt or who foster kids. Without any knowledge on parenting, they opt for babies and not older kids. So I guess this part actually shows that it doesn't matter. You just have to be a parent. Parent with compassion, love, and everything else will just fall into place. So I loved that really. So she attended the meeting and they talked about feminism and how it is important for women to be educated. At school, when Diana was showing Anne around, they saw their teacher, Mr. Philip, with a student, touching the student in an inappropriate way for a teacher.
She's a student and he's old. They must be making a baby. What?
So Anne said they must be making a baby and Diana was intrigued, so she decided to tell the other girls, innocently so. So in class, she made the rumor circulate among the girls and they were curious to know more. Come on, let's be honest. Who doesn't want the tea on the teacher and the student? I would want to know more as well. At lunchtime, Anne was called to join the girls. So remember, she had to make an impression. She needed everyone on her side and most important, friends. And she was determined to get that. So she started telling the other girls what had happened, her experiences and everything. And unfortunately, that backfired. It accelerated real quick. Everyone turned against her. They called her filthy. Diana tried to remain behind, but Josie Pye was not having it. That wasn't going to happen, not on her watch. So in the end, she left as well and Anne was left alone. At home, Rachel had visited Marilla. She wanted to know about the meeting. She was so judgmental, told Marilla that she didn't know who she was anymore. Because now she was chilling with those women and she hated those meetings. And Marilla was not having it this time. She had to speak up for herself and that did not end well. When school was over, Diana and Anne walked home together, but the other girls had made it clear that they did not want Anne. Anne promised herself that the next day was not going to be as messy as her first day at school, that she was going to talk less, try not to cause trouble, and just mind her business. Diana also told her so and they separated, and she ended up removing the flowers from her head. When she got home, Rachel was still there, and she told them that she admired their friendship. That resolved the issue that was at hand and they were not angry at each other anymore. Anne proceeded to her room, did her homework. The following morning, before she went to school, she went to talk to Belle, the horse, told Belle that she was going to be a good girl. Jerry interrupted again. Anne was angry and told him not to eavesdrop, but he didn't understand what that meant. So later he then asked Mathew what that meant, but Mathew didn't know as well. All they knew was that Anne loved to use big words. On her way to school, she was confronted by her bully, asking what she had said about his sister.
And the Green Gables. Tú y yo vamos a hablar.
He meant business. He wanted to beat her, but Gilbert came and saved Anne. Well, now Gilbert had met his crush. He was going to find out who that girl was. He had not met Anne the previous day because he was not in school, so he didn't know that there was a newcomer.
Oh, miss? What's your name, miss?
How he called her miss, I loved him from the word go. He was a gentleman. That was sweet, but only if he knew that he was about to be Anne's worst nightmare ever.
I'm sorry if I was rude. I'm Anne.
I guess it's safe to say Gilbert was loved. Anne went with the milk outside and Gilbert was asked why he was walking with the orphan and hear what he had to say.
I don't care where she's from. A cute girl is a cute girl.
Okay, who would hate him? Whoa, where are we going? Anne was not ready for this.
I don't know what you think you were doing walking with Gilbert Blythe. You can't talk to Gilbert Blythe. You can't even look at him. Well,
Oh, so Ruby had a crush on Gilbert. I understand here, but girls, why do you do this? Why?
see for yourself. Ruby has liked him for 3 years. She has dibs.
Anne was told not to walk or talk to Gilbert, and she promised she was to abide by the rules.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to walk with him. It just happened. Well, don't let it happen again. I won't. I promise. I'll have nothing to do with him.
They left and Diana tells Anne that she was going to try and smooth things over. As Marilla and Mathew were running their errands, they bumped into the women who had invited Marilla to the parents' meetings. Marilla asked them when was the next meeting, and she was told not to come anymore because her hands were full with Anne. She did not understand, but she was certain that something wrong had happened with Anne. So they drove home. Mathew was worried. Also Marilla was worried. Mathew was determined to find out what had happened, and he knew that Rachel is always in people's businesses. So he knew that Rachel might know what had happened. For the first time, he visited Rachel. So Rachel told him everything. To put it plainly, Rachel told Mathew that Anne was talking about sex to other students. So Mathew was worried, and then he went home and told Marilla what Rachel had told him. At first, Marilla did not understand why Anne would say such things. But Mathew made her understand, telling her that Anne was just a child who went through a lot in life, who has been succumbed to abuse, who suffered in the hands of men, and that it wasn't her fault that she had to know things that she ought not know at her age. So Marilla decided to pay one of the women a visit. At school, Anne was actually doing well, but the teacher was determined to make her life a misery.
Air compelled to roam, few hearts to cheer him through his dangerous life, and none to aid him.
Okay, why is Gilbert looking at Anne like that? Wow, he was a goner. He was admiring Anne.
In the stormy strife, companion of the sea and silent air, the lonely fisher thus
The other kids didn't understand her, but she was actually good.
ever care.
She's good. Invested.
Not the comfort.
Okay, Gilbert, we know you are in love.
Read Campbell's Pleasures of Hope, The Downfall of Poland.
Oh, sacred truth.
Josie Pye was good too, I just didn't like her attitude. And I hated the teacher. So Marilla visits Prissy's mother. Prissy is the girl who was seen with the teacher. She tries to reason with her, but she was not listening. She was just judging Anne, and Marilla had to tell her the truth. She questioned her parenting methods, the one that lacks compassion. I mean, Anne could have been raped, but she was just judging her. She didn't even try to understand how Anne got to know that. And she was just playing the victim, but she actually wasn't the victim. In actual fact, Anne was. She wasn't supposed to see another student with a teacher. Like, seriously? People are quick to judge. They don't even try to look for the root of the problem. And mostly orphans are judged hastily. I've heard phrases like "Nerera dzibatsirike," "Nerera dzinemsikanzwa," and that goes to say people view orphans with a certain perspective, and that orphans are good for nothing, which is truly sad. And that is why I actually started this channel, to change the narrative. So make sure you subscribe before this video ends. Anyway, back to school. What was happening at school now? So Gilbert wanted to talk to Anne, and he had to make sure that Anne ends up talking to him.
Hey, I thought you might like to try one.
They're from our orchard. They're real sweet.
Okay, Gilbert, we know that you're a gentleman and cute, but right now can you just leave Anne alone? Please.
Please go away.
I beg your pardon?
You need to walk away right
That was said to watch. Gilbert was the right guy for her.
now.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I'm not supposed to talk to you.
Why not?
That was not the end. He was not going to give up. Well, he wasn't going to stop until she says something.
Carrots.
I'm not talking to you!
That got Anne into trouble. The teacher asked her if that what she was taught in the orphanage. He said some hurtful stuff, and Anne was made to stand in front of the whole class. Gilbert tried to tell the teacher that he was the one to blame, but the teacher was not listening to that. He just hated Anne. So Anne, in pain, just left and ran home. Marilla was doing her laundry when she arrived. She just hugged her and started crying. Marilla understood why she was crying. She comforted her, told her that she understands and that everything was gonna be alright. But Anne vowed to never going back to school ever again. And that was the end of episode 3. Merry Christmas! I hope you are enjoying your holidays. Please stay safe and be merry. Bye! Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Also, press your notification button so that you can be notified when I post the next video.